Day 2 of the 2025 NFL Draft is in the books. If you enjoyed our coverage so far, type me in the comments section of today's show. We will have Day 3 coverage for you here on the Chat Sports YouTube channel. And we're going to grade all the teams' drafts so far. We go alphabetical here. Arizona. I don't love Walter Nolan in round 1. I do love Will Johnson in the second. The medical concerns are valid there. I thought Jordan Birch was the proper value. Phil's needed edge. Thought defense needed help. It's not perfect, but I do like. It's above average. It's good. It's not, very good for Arizona. The Falcons I have a tough time with, man. Giving up a future 1 for James Pierce, I didn't like. But I thought Jalen Walker was a really good pick. And I love Xavier Watts. That was one of my favorite round 3 picks of anybody. They needed defensive help. I thought they gave up too much to get James Pierce. It's the only reason it's not a straight-up A. But I love the Walker fit in Atlanta. Pierce is a good player. There's character stuff there. The future 1 makes it dicey. And I thought Xavier Watts was a steal, one of the biggest steals in round 3. The end of round 3, too. The Ravens, they did Ravens things again, didn't they? They took Malachi Starks. I had a first/second round grade on him. There is character stuff with Mike Green that raises some very valid red flags and is a question mark there. But that was one of, pure on-field, was a top 15 player for me. I thought Emory Jones was a reach. Only thing didn't give it an A+ for me. The Ravens often draft well, and they did it again. Buffalo, I'll give them a B. I like the Maxwell Harrison pick. I don't have any complaints about it. It's just is it great value or is it good value? Maxwell Harrison, I think, is going to be a good player for them. Little early on TJ Sanders, but there was a pretty early run on DT, so it all kind of went away. Landon Jackson was again, good, not great value. It's a good draft for the Bills. Carolina, I see the vision. You add a big playmaking wide receiver in Tedderell McMillan, ignoring Hunter's dual threat ability. My number 1 wide receiver. I thought Nick Scorton and Princely Uman-Mielen in the 2nd and 3rd round. I mean, those guys could have been flipped, and I would have liked both picks still. So you get Uman-Mielen at 77, I think is a good pick. I think Scorton will be more like the Purdue version. It's a good draft from Carolina. Chicago is next up here. I went back and forth on this one in terms of what to give their grade. Loveland was a little bit early for me. I didn't love that. I loved Luther Burden in round 2. And you also had you had 3 second-round picks. You're getting 4 potential starters. I can't ignore that, even if Trapillo was more of a 3rd-round pick for me. Shamar Turner was a little bit early, but the DTs were kind of all gone, so I get it. The Burden, Loveland, Ozzie Trapillo pick trio, I think you got 4 starters. Maybe Turner's more of a rotation guy. I do see the vision for Chicago there. Who was the biggest NFL draft winner so far? If you want to say your favorite team, that's fine too. It's the pinned comment on today's show, so if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. I almost went C+ for the Bengals, and no 7th rounder. It's a light draft class overall. Shamar Stewart, about where I had him graded. I thought Demetrius Knight was a pretty big reach. The linebacker class is bad, but boy, that was early for him. Dylan Fairchild was fine. Hopefully you got 3 starters, but it's dicey overall. The Browns, they traded away from Travis Hunter. I think they got 4 potential starters. I thought Mason Graham I like him a lot. I think he'll be an instant day 1 starter. Off-ball linebacker. Worried about Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah and his injuries there. But Twessinger had him at 30 or something on my big board. 33 is good value, and it was 88 for Demetrius Knight. So Quinshad Judkins will be your starter for him. I like Harold Fannin, unique player, but I had him in the 2nd/3rd round, so good value there. I thought Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd was kind of stupid, but I'm not going to ding him too much on that one. It's still a good class by the Browns. Dallas. I didn't love Booker in round 1. Tyler Booker in round 1. Thought that was 2nd round grade, but the board didn't fall their way. I thought they got great value. 2 of my favorite day 2 picks in Donovan Ezeraku and Savone Revel Jr. How they fill receiver, running back, I honestly don't know. But getting good players. He took the best player, two of my favorite day 2 picks. That makes it a good draft for the Dallas Cowboys as far as I'm concerned. Now, today's show and today's NFL Daily and our 2025 NFL Draft coverage is made possible by Mando. Spring is in the air, and for me, that means I get to golf again. And with the bright lights on during the NFL Draft coverage, it can get a bit hot and sweaty, but Mando helps us out. I want to walk, not ride 18 holes, and Mando whole body deodorant on the course and in the studio keeps me fresh from head to toe. Golf balls aren't the only ones that need to be cleaned, after all. Get it? Mando is clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash and deodorant wipes, plus free shipping. As a special offer for new listeners, you guys get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Simply use code CHAT at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. Support our show. Tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. Shopmando.com. Use promo code CHAT. Jahdae Barron is the reason why the Broncos got an A-. He's the top 10 player you got at 20 on my board. I think that is incredible value. RJ Harvey, maybe a little bit early, but he's so explosive. I love his game. I didn't love the Pat Bryant, Savion Jones picks, but Denver also proved me wrong last year, so I think the first 2 picks, though, make it worthwhile for them. The Detroit Lions. I don't love it. I do love Tate Ratledge in round 2. That is my favorite pick by the Detroit Lions. Tyke Williams will be a good player, but he's not going to be a great player. I question the pass rush ability. Isaac TeSlaa in the 3rd, who was the 2nd best receiver at Arkansas at 70. I don't understand. And you got no picks until the 6th round. You traded up for some of these guys. I don't know, Brad. What are you really cooking over there? Green Bay. I did like the round 1 pick a lot, Matthew Golden. Anthony Belton was rich for me in the 2nd round a little bit. You also took Savion Williams. No defensive help. It's weird to me. I'm curious what their long-term game plans are. Houston, I'll give this one a B. They've been wheeling and dealing quite a bit in this one. On one hand, I love getting both Iowa State receivers. I actually had Jalen Noel above Jaden Higgins. Ursery's fine value. Again, no first-round pick. So you got 4 picks in round 2 and round 3. None again until the 6th. The high-end impact is a little bit lacking. I would have given Indianapolis an A+ if they hadn't reached for Justin Wally out of Minnesota in the 3rd round. I don't get that pick. Tyler Warren in round 1 was my favorite pick. JTT at Ohio State, I thought was a very solid pick, which was some of the edges that were there / not there. But Wally, again, for me, it's my opinion. You can be mad at it. It's totally fine. I had a 6th round grade on him. He went 80. He was 248 on my board. We will be live again tomorrow, my friends. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out. YouTube.com/chatsportstv for more free live NFL draft coverage. I appreciate the aggression to go up and get Travis Hunter. It'll impact our draft grade next year with no first, but that's the best player in the class. I had no complaints there. Caleb Ransaw in the 3rd. I think he's a nickel. Maybe he plays safety, which makes me feel a little bit better about it, but Xavier Watts was there. Come on. Hunter will play corner. You've paid one guy. You have Jerry Jones. You paid Jordan Lewis. I don't get Ransaw in the 3rd. That was weird to me. Wyatt Millen was a fine pick, though. The Chiefs. I like Josh Simmons a lot in round 1. There's some medical character, but he'll start long-term, I think, at left tackle. Omar Norman-Lott is kind of a weird tweener of he didn't actually, not tweener, but a weird one-dimensional pass rusher, but at 63, that's fine. I like Ashton Gelati. Love Noah Williams, too, as a 3rd-round pick. think there's 4 starters / rotation guys there. The Raiders, I'll give them a B+. I do like the Ashton Genty pick. I think there's immense upside with Darian Porter in the early third round pick. Jack Besh I think he's going to be interesting. He's a football player, man. He's going to be a good player there. Rodgers and Grant are 2 very different offensive linemen. One's a guard, and Rodgers, one's a tackle, and Grant, just some development's going to be required there. The Chargers. I don't know why I said it like I do the Raiders there. That's kind of weird. L's in the chat if you want to. I actually like Amarian Hampton, Trey Harris a lot as a 1-2 punch. This is almost exactly where I had them graded. Hampton was 18 overall on my board. Harris was 55, exactly. Cardwell was a little bit of a reach, but talking 20-ish picks in third round, and they love nose guards, so I get that one. I knew that Terrence Ferguson was going to go a lot earlier than what I had him graded at. I just think he's an okay tight end. They will profit next year with the extra first-round pick. They will. I had Josiah Stewart at 82, so that's fine value, but rotational edge and a tight end is not sexy for LA. Next year, though, they're going to get an A, I guarantee it. Miami, for a team that has so many holes to fill, so many needs, to trade up for Jonah from Zona and fill one spot and give up extra picks and have Kenneth Grant, who was good, not great pick, I don't love it that much. Of all the picks so far, what is your favorite NFL draft pick? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Minnesota. Can we still do that? Or is that out of, I don't know, whatever. Minnesota, I'll give them a B. They're light on draft picks. They're so light. It's just going to not be a highly rated draft class. But they got an A+ for me last year, or A, whatever it was. So it evens out, right? Like Donovan Jackson pick. Touch early on Ty Felton, but I had him as a day 3 sleeper. So I understand the process there. Patriots, B+. I think you got 4 starters this year. And again, if you can get 4 starters in the class, that's normally pretty good. Campbell, I hope he's a tackle. We'll see. Henderson isn't the biggest need, but he's so explosive. Touch early on Kyle Williams. I was a bit surprised Jared Wilson didn't go earlier. Value was good, but he's the only startable center outside of Gray Zabel in this class. Oh, New Orleans. Kelvin Mapes was fine. I don't mind that one at all. Kelvin Mapes was a fine quality pick. Tyler Shuck at 40. Look, I am a hater of this quarterback class. I don't see good play. I don't. It took him 7 years to be a competent starter in college. He's Gen Z Brandon Whedon. Vernon Broughton was kind of a reach for me as a run stopper. I do like the Jonas Sanker pick though, but it's not failing. I don't love it that much. Tim with the Giants. Abdul Carter, great pick. Darius Alexander, great pick. Again, I am a hater. I don't believe in this quarterback class. I don't think it's good. Jackson Dart is not. He's not Josh Allen. He's not. He needs a year of development. Is your staff going to be there? I don't know. Jets, A for me. I love the Armand Membu pick. I thought Mason Taylor was proper value to fill tight end, a big spot for them. Zaire Thomas had a second-round grade for me. There's speed concerns. I think the Jets are cooking so far. I think you got 3 starters there. 3 picks. Good job there for the Jets. Eagles, they got a couple 4th-round picks and some 5th-rounders coming up here. Jahad Campbell, Andrew Makuba were 2 guys I liked a lot. Campbell was a top 15 player for me. Love that pick. Makuba was a little bit early, but replaces C.J. Gardner-Johnson at safety. Can do some nickel stuff if you need him to. I like that pick. Biggest loser. I think there's one right answer. It's not fair. I think it's Shedeur Sanders. I did not think he would be undrafted right now. I thought, worst case, he'd be picked by the Steelers in round 3. To be undrafted tells me he did not interview well, and that teams just don't trust the person for whatever reason. I feel bad for the kid. I think it's some of the Sanders primetime stuff you have to deal with. He was good at Colorado. Not elite, but he's better than Dylan Gabriel. Come on. That doesn't make any sense to me. I think Shedeur is the biggest loser, unfortunately. All right, Steelers, B+. No second rounder. I'm not going to juice it too much for the DK Metcalf trade. But Derek Harmon was a logical fit, and I love the value of Caleb Johnson. That is a flawless scheme fit for what Pittsburgh wants to do up front in the ground game. Love that pick. The 49ers, I do like Michael Williams a lot relative to what they needed. He was like 20th on my board. The value's fine. Alfred Collins fills a need, but that was early. Nick Martin is talented coming off the injury. Upton Stout was one of my favorite day 3 guys. Good, not great. Seattle, aggressive move up for Nick Emenwari, which I low-key actually like. Gray Zabel, they took a guard. My God, how they needed one. Elijah Arroyo was good value, not elite, but good. Jalen Milroe's got upside. Can you get? He's not a good fit in the Kubiak offense, but give him a year and 2 years. Let's see what things look like then. All right, Tampa. I love it, man. Emeka Ibuka was right where he should have gone. Benjamin Morrison is an awesome football player when healthy. Jacob Parrish is a dog at nickel. Those are like 3 guys that were among my favorite players for where they were probably going to go. Of course, I'm going to give them an A. Tennessee gets an A+ if Cam Ward ends up being a franchise guy. I thought trading down, getting more picks was very beneficial for them. Femi Oladejo was a little bit early, but I love Kevin Winston. Can you get a receiver to begin round 4? That would make me feel good about Tennessee. Washington, light on draft picks overall. They might slide a little bit with a 4th, a 6th, and a 7th, but you're protecting the franchise with Josh Connerly. If you had taken Trey Amos at 29, I would not have batted an eye. I would have said, yep, that makes sense. Touch early, but not a lot early. That I thought would have been a quality pick. Day 2 in the books. Who is the best player left in the 2025 NFL Draft? Let me know in the comments section of today's show.